Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on February 12, 2026, just 2 days ago. It introduces a hierarchical framework that repurposes frozen vision language models as continuous emotional sensors, achieving state-of-the-art soundtrack generation with a fresh audio distance of 1.92. The paper is titled NarraScore, Bridging Visual Narrative and Musical Dynamics via Hierarchical Effective Control. And as we'll see later, the results are really impressive because they effectively solve the issue of semantic blindness, allowing the music to actually follow the narrative arc of long videos. Figure 1 compares the proposed method against standard baselines. On the left, traditional models fail because they focus only on surface visuals. The top row shows a chase sequence generating inconsistent audio, while the bottom row gets mismatched upbeat music that misses the hidden sadness. In contrast, the right side demonstrates the NarraScore solution, which tracks global plot points and local emotional curves. This produces a coherent soundtrack that matches the narrative, creating rhythmic tension for the chase and a melancholic tone for the emotional subtext. Well, Figure 2 details the framework architecture, which processes video through two parallel paths using a frozen vision language model. The top path extracts a structured anchor to set the global genre and pacing. Meanwhile, the bottom path captures local dynamics by feeding uniform frames into a trainable affective probe, indicated by the small fire icon, which produces a continuous tension curve. These signals then guide the pre-trained music decoder on the right, ensuring the soundtrack matches both the overall style and the moment-to-moment narrative. So Figure 3 zooms in on how the model actually handles that local tension. On the left, you can see the process starts with sparse frame-level signals, which are upsampled and smoothed by dilated convolution blocks to match the speed of audio generation. The fire icons here indicate that these specific modules are trainable. Then, looking at the right side, this dense emotional signal is injected element-wise into the transformer layers. Crucially, the snowflake icons confirm that the massive music backbone remains frozen, preventing the model from forgetting its original training while it learns to follow the narrative. Alright, having seen the mechanism, Table 1 now quantifies the results against baselines like VidMuse and G versus M General. The first data column highlights a fretched audio distance of 1.92 for NarraScore, which is the best in the group and indicates superior audio fidelity. Moving to the right, the model also tops the KL divergence and image bind metrics, confirming it captures semantic alignment better than the competition. This consistent performance verifies that the hierarchical injection strategy effectively translates visual narratives into coherent musical dynamics. So, Figure 4 provides a qualitative check using MEL spectrograms, which map out audio frequencies and energy over time. On the left, the baseline models struggle. For instance, Caption 2 music produces smooth, featureless bands that indicate a lack of rhythm, while VidMuse shows disordered, pixelated noise. Conversely, the NarraScore output on the right is dense and structured. It aligns dynamically with the video frames shown at the top, proving the model can sustain complex musical texture that actually fits the unfolding visual narrative. Well, having verified the output quality in the spectrograms, Table 4 now presents an ablation study to pinpoint exactly why the model works. The top section, labeled Component Analysis, compares the full model against stripped-down versions. You can see that the complete NarraScore system achieves the best fretched audio distance of 1.92. Crucially, when the authors remove the narrative-aware affective reasoning, or NAR, that score spikes to 3.01. This sharp degradation proves that the narrative logic component is not just an add-on, but the primary driver of the model's performance. Wrapping up, 2 takeaways stand out. First, NarraScore proves that emotion effectively bridges visual narratives and music, solving the long-standing issue of semantic blindness. Second, the success of using frozen vision language models as affective sensors suggests a promising, efficient path for future multimodal generation. That's it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Thanks for listening.